Hello IT Superstars, welcome to the IT Superstar channel. My name is Alan and in today's video we are going to cover data streams or standard data streams and how we can manipulate things, how we can chain commands together, how we can redirect output and input, etc. And basically, when you think about computers, what they do is they take some input, they perform some operations on the data provided, and then they give the output. And in Linux, you have many commands. And when you think about command, it's a small program basically that is specialized in doing certain things. And we have something that's called standard data streams, and this is basically standard input, standard output, and standard error. So the input by default, the shell directs standard input from the keyboard. So whenever you type something, you're giving input to the computer and to that program. And then standard output will go two ways. Basically, there is a standard output, which is, as the name says, it's a standard output. And then there is a standard error. So whenever there is some kind of error, it will go through the standard error. And by default, both standard output and standard error will be displayed on the screen. So if I type something that does not exist, command that does not exist, and hit enter, I will get information. Basically, I will get this error on the screen. And same thing if I type, let's say, ls, which is a command that does exist. By standard, the output will go to the screen. Also, let's say if I type echo Alan, my name, it will show on the screen. Now the power, let me clear this. Now the power of Linux is that we can basically redirect output where we want it to go. So if I want this, instead of this echo going to the screen, if I want this echo to go to a document, I can say echo and then my name and then use greater than sign and say out, just for short for output. And this command basically will take the word Alan and it will store it in the document called out, in a file called out. And if this file does not exist, it will create one. So at the moment, actually, it didn't exist, so it created one. If we do ls, out is there, and if we do cat on the out, we will see that my name is stored there. So let me clear this again. And by the way, I'm just using Control L to clear the screen. And so we saw how we can take output basically of one command, which is echo in this case, and redirect this. So instead of the information being shown on the screen, it will go and it will be stored in a file. And let me do something else. Let me just do ls-l for the user bin directory. And I'm gonna add this to the out file, but instead of adding it, instead of using just greater than sign, basically, if I use greater than sign and I say out, it will delete whatever is already in the document and then store all the information, all this new data. But if I want to append, if I want to keep what's already in the out, in this case, it's my name, and then add the listing of the user bin directory, then I can use two greater than signs. So one greater than sign basically will add information, but will delete everything in the document, and two greater than signs will just append to this document. So if I do two greater than out, and now I cat out, I'm gonna get huge listing. And yeah, as you can see, listing is really huge. So one thing we can do is we can combine commands so that we get what we want. So in our case, I have this huge file, and I will use this this concept of chaining commands together or creating a pipeline, piping to manipulate this data and then get the information that I want. And I will show you this in a minute. But before I show you this, while we are talking about redirection, I just want to show you one more thing. You can, I just showed you basically how you can redirect the output of a command to a file. And I want to show you how you can also redirect output of a command to a different terminal. So let me just go here and split vertically. And I'm just gonna clear this. So here we have another terminal, but before I can use, I need to SSH so that I'm on the same machine. Just want to use the same machine. Okay, so I'm going to do TTY, which will tell me the location of this terminal. And I can do this here. So what I can do here is I can say echo, and I will say my name. And now, instead of a document, I will redirect to the location of this other terminal and check what happens now. We have Alan here. So basically we echoed it here in this terminal and we gave it the location of another terminal, and basically it was sent there. And now from this terminal we could do the same thing. So basically, you know, you could use this like a primitive chat system. Yeah, so it's one thing that I wanted to show you. And now I'm gonna close this terminal. And let me show you a few more ways that you can make use out of this concept of chaining and piping and redirection, etc. So let's say what we have already, I think we have this out file. And if we cat this out file, we will see it's a huge file. And I'm going to clear the screen now. So one thing we can do, basically, we can use this, we can use the cat command, which basically reads out the content of a document. So we can use this cat command and we can say cat out. And basically, as we've seen previously, cat out will list the content of the out file on the screen. But we don't want to use it on the screen. We want to create a pipeline. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed this output to a grep command. So I'm going to say vertical line. Let me just click here. I'm going to say vertical line, which means pipe. So take everything from the left, pipe it to the right, and now I'm going to say grep, and I'm going to use -O flag. And I will say mail. So I want to find only word mail in this huge listing. So I want it only to return word mail. And then I'm gonna use another pipe. So you see how I'm chaining different commands together. And now I'm gonna say word count -v because I wanted to return words. I wanted to count words, and I want to redirect this to a new file, for example. Now, if I hit enter and I do ls, there's a new file there. And if I cat new file, what I will get is 14. And the 14 is number of times that the word mail shows up in the file out, which is basically a listing of the user bin directory. And if you have any doubts, feel free to list user bin directory and count how many times word mail will appear there. The instance of a word mail appears there, and you will see it will be 14 times. So as you can see, what we did here, basically, we did like 1, 2, 3 commands put together and then redirect the result to a new file. So you can see basically, you know, it's very It's very powerful concept of putting this together and chaining, etc. And let me just show you a few more things. So if you want to append, if you want to how should I say, let's say you want to, if I want to redirect the information from one file or the output of one command to two or more different commands. So I can't go like, for example, let's go echo Alan, and then I want to send this to two files. I can't go like, file 1, file 2, file 3. Sorry, file 2, file 3. What's wrong with me? Okay. Nothing's going to happen. So if I do ls, we're going to have file 1, but f2 and 3 is missing because it did not recognize these two statements. So if we cat f1, we see that basically Alan is there, and then f2 and 3. And this is not what we wanted. What we wanted is we wanted to have 3 separate documents, and we wanted each of these documents to contain my name. So to do this, we're going to use another command. It's called T, and you can think of T as a T junction. Basically, it can go multiple ways. So it's not like a pipe, going just one way. It can go left, right, it can go down, so it can go in multiple ways. So to show you how to use T, we can say echo Alan loves Linux, for example. And now I'm going to pipe this to a T, and I'm going to say, hey, Mr. T, I want you to take the output from the left that I just piped to you, and I want you to add this to F1 and F2 documents. And now I'm going to use word count -v, and I'm going to redirect this to number of words, for example. So let's hit enter. And what do you think that happened here if you look at this command? So we have echo here, which basically echoes out this sentence, Alan loves Linux. Then we pipe this to T, and I already told you what T does. It basically feeds the information that it got to different locations, to multiple different locations, in this case to file 1 and file 2. And we have then piped this result, this output, all of this together into word count, and we said that we want to count only words, and we redirected this to the document of num words. So let's ls, and we will see that the num words is here, number of words is here. So let's cat number of words and see what the result will be. And sure enough, result is 3. So result 3 means that there is 3 words, and Alan loves Linux, that's 3 words. Now let's cat out F1 and see what we get. Alan loves Linux. And let's cat out F2 and we get Alan loves Linux. So basically what this command did, it echoed out Alan loves Linux, then it fed this result, this data stream, it piped it to the T, and then the T command basically saved this, or I don't know if I can say redirected, but yeah, it redirected this to 2 separate files, not just one, to 2 separate files, file F1 and F2. And then we chained this again together with another command. We piped through result to another command, word count, -v, which counts the number of words, and then we redirected the output to the number of words file, which didn't exist, was created. So I hope that this clarified how to use chaining of commands and redirection in a practical way. And in the future tutorials, of course, everything that we covered, like we already mentioned a little bit of this chaining and piping together when we discussed grep in a previous video. So as I said, we are building our number of different weapons that we have, our Linux weapons. So our Linux tools, we are building number of tools that we can use, and in every subsequent tutorial video, we will expand on what we did previously, and we will do more complex examples, and we will go further and further until eventually you really get very good grasp of Linux, and you really master all of the fundamentals and even some advanced topics. As I said, I'm planning to cover entire Red Hat certified system administrator curriculum and probably system in Red Hat certified engineer curriculum as well. So please share, subscribe, like, comment. Comment if you would like to see, tell me basically what you would like to see in the videos. If you have any critiques about presentation, if you think that I'm not presenting in the best way. So yeah, share your opinions, and I will try to listen to you and improve delivery of these videos. The idea is that we share the knowledge and that we learn together. Again, these videos that I'll be making are mainly geared towards beginners, and I'm covering, as I said in previous videos, I'll be covering Linux, I'll be covering Cisco, I'll be covering Python, I'll be covering AWS, Terraform, Ansible. So I'll cover many topics, but I don't really always have a lot of time because I have a full-time employment. I have two small kids, have some courses that I'm attending that I'm attending. So I have very limited free time, but I will try to make as many videos as possible. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video and that topics covered are clear for you. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.